This short video is demonstrating the framework in which the ICT meeting structure will take place. The whole idea of this is to bring all stakeholders together with the clarity of a single dashboard that shows the RAG position of the different elements, whether it's operational on a weekly basis, escalation or third line every 3 weeks, whether it's director level once every half term, and how we can obtain feedback to improve the service, whether this is provided on site or as an integral service in collaboration with HTG. There is a document that clearly maps out the process, and the whole idea is to obtain the user's perception of the IT services on site. The weekly operation meeting should take no more than 15 minutes. It's very clear in terms of the scope what we're actually going to look for. So you look at the scope and you're going to do a response on outstanding log call position. So you look at the outstanding calls, deferred and project calls, and is this in the view of the user acceptable and under control? You'll clearly append a very short note of what the agreement is regarding this element and place a RAG. The RAG definition is within the scope of the key dial, or those that are using it through Project Manager, it's the same functionality but a different means of actually putting data in. Response to calls, basically looking at the response to the calls during the week, escalated calls, what's happened to those, the quality of service. Overall, the comments of any good points, provide comments of a good point, provide comments of an area that can be improved, identify any areas of concern. In each of the current statuses which you'll put into project or the key dial, it is asked that you put the person in which you are meeting with. The technical person will automatically have their name inserted when they update the key dial or the project manager. So looking at the key dial is just a friendly interface to the project manager and takes elements from this document. So the document, along with the key dial and this video, should give you enough information to complete this effectively and efficiently to ensure that we're in sync with all the stakeholders. So you look at the operational weekly elements, which is in the document, the first one that you come to, which is operational weekly document. What you've got here is you've got the sections outstanding, response calls, escalated, quality of service and other, which you've got within the document down here. If you click on one of these elements, you end up with some icons and things on the right hand side. This icon there is action scope. If in doubt, read the scope. The scope tells you what we're going to talk about, how we're going to RAG this element, and when we're going to update it. We should update this project within 4 hours of having the meeting so it's fresh in our minds, and we should ensure that the RAG of this element is placed. Clearly, if there's an equal or less than an amber, we must send this through to the escalation manager or escalate it up the chain. All you're asked to do is basically meet with the relevant people on site, click update, type whatever you want to type in there, and click current update. Now what this does is give you the current update position, and it enables you to look at and if you want to look at how you got there, it actually clearly states the date and time of when the elements have changed. If you now want to sort of say I want to RAG that amber, then you can click it amber, you can see it's gone amber there, and it's actually been registered as amber there. Options here, you can actually append or attach files, web links. So if you want to provide evidence of what you're talking about, you can do that. But the important thing is we keep it simple at all times. So all these different steps, you've got the response to calls, look at the scope, see what you've got to do, follow the instructions. Current status, append a note, an update, and change the rag. Or if the rag's the same, it's fine. We've got red, amber, green and blue, but we've got positive and negative to show fine levels of progress. So over time we can map the progress or the trend of the service and the different elements within the service. When you go to Escalation Manager third line, this also tells you that you can look at the similar questions but from a third line point of view. So this is looking at a longer period, but it's got the same elements. You look at the scope tells you what you need to look at, how you need to complete the current status, which by clicking there, update current status, update status, and change the rag. That's all you've got to do throughout this process. Director level, all that needs to be looked at. It's the same process, whatever you're doing. The main thing is that you look at the element or the meeting type of which you're attending, click on the section that you want to talk about, look at the scope, read the scope, follow the instructions, click on current status and give a summative judgment of what you believe, or the user in terms of who you're speaking to believes where we are. That's the simplicity of the dial in terms of what we're working with. So we can either use Project Manager or we can use the dial in being able to update, view and map progress. That's Mike signing off. End of short video.